What's up, guys? Today we're gonna dig the carburetors out of this 95 third gen Honda Magna. I don't think we've really done this, at least not in a while. And I'm freeing up space, making room. I could park a car in here soon. Not real soon, but soon enough once we get some of these beauties out of here. We have not done much with this bike. I did pick it up in Maryland. I've had it for almost 3 years. Well, I guess a little longer than 3 years. And in some point it was from Missouri, so it probably rode. Oh, look at that inspection sticker until 2011. Okay, so this is a 1995, and here's the. So this bike came in, had this little rack on the back. It's pretty cool, and we've torn apart some of these parts. Sold. This was a yellow bike, yellow pearl. And this was what the ignition looked like, and I don't know if this even works. Maybe it does. For some reason, I'm not getting power. So I went to the black parts bike, found a key, and plugged this and ignition in, and that doesn't work either. So I don't know if the main fuse is blown or something's disconnected. Beyond that, I did sell the gauges already. So this bike is definitely a parts bike. No title, so we're tearing it down. Something I did notice, clutch is a little loose, but you know, we're not riding it, it's free. And the brake is pretty tight. It probably works, but here we go. We're seized on the accelerator cable. The throttle does not move. So hopefully that's just in the lines that we really don't need and not down at the actual carburetor. Hopefully the carburetor is free. I guess I should unplug this. I think we should have power, but for some reason we don't. I just wanted to check, see if these lights lit up, basically. See if we had a starter. But anyway, as you tear into the carburetors and get them out, you're going to have a cover on either side. The bracket's already missing here, so we don't have to worry about that. The airbox is on top, so you're going to start taking these out. There's a bracket here holding this in. A couple screws there, right here. So get your Phillips, get your JIS screws, and then you're going to start taking these out. We're going to get this. I don't know what happened to this bike before I got it, but there is the stator, and that's off. That's your power generator. So we're going to get that out of the way, cut this off. This looks probably good. We can just sell it as parts or keep it on the shelf. We do have a full. Wait, do we have baffles? Almost never do. Oh, we have baffles. Guys, this is a stock system. Pretty nice. So do we need that? We do have some bikes without it. But anyway, we're going to keep tearing into this. Let's get to the carbs. We'll get them off the bike like we usually try not to do. 10 millimeters around. This bracket will come off. And like I said, you got screws here. So we're just going to start taking screws out. And then the wiring harness is here. That used to say what it was for. I'll have to write that on there. That's convenient. And then usually I take the carbs out of this side of the bike. So once this is off, we can get the air filter, get this off, and then we'll be to the carbs. We'll get the throttle out of the way too. See if, oh, this is not moving right here. That's our problem. That is the problem right there. So maybe we'll spray that with some penetrating fluid, see if we can get that moving. Got all the screws out. Be careful. These were not coming out perfectly. So I hit it with a hammer a little bit and busted the corner off this front. But make sure you don't lose these. These can fall off in your process here. And here's the bracket I told you was holding this snorkel in. Now the snorkel can slide backwards and off. And there is our extremely dirty air filter. So we're going to lift this and the filter off to the left. Oops, don't forget this little air hose that's on top of here. I missed a screw. And then you can just pull this air hose off the back. Get that out of the way so we can release everything. It can be tricky because your air funnels are going to be underneath here. So you're going to have to get this up over those funnels. On the left side, your throttle cables might be in the way to slide this out. As you can see, just a little bit in the way. So I removed them from here, 10 millimeter in the bracket here, loosen them up, pull those out, and we should be able to weasel these out of the throttle thing here, but it's stuck, really stuck. I don't know why. We have to figure out what is not moving there. But in the end, if you really want to, loosen these up, drop this down, slide that off, open this up, you'll be fine. And I did notice that my lights weren't lighting up, maybe because this is unplugged. We'll look into that later. See if I am missing something, or maybe those plugged into the instrument cluster. There we go. Top of the carburetors is revealed. This is your air filter cover. And if I remember correctly, I pop the air filter right out of here. It's been in there a long time. Let's see how dirty it is. There we go. It's a whole cartridge thing here. All right, so there's our cover. Even though we broke off this corner, we could epoxy that back on. It wouldn't be a big deal. Actually, it probably won't be a big deal at all. Air filter, dirty in that one spot and could be replaced. It's a pretty big deal, that air filter. It is a Honda, good deal. Could be factory, I don't know, 33,000 miles. Here are your funnels if you're gonna take these out. They have these little guys. You lift up the tabs. It's easier to do with a screwdriver. And there's 4 screws. Wait. Yep. 4 screws around. You're going to lift your air funnels out. I don't know that we have to do that if we want to keep this all connected, but we might as well get that out of the way. And I think that also loosens up the bottom of the airbox. I bent all these tabs. I think these are called washers, if I remember correctly. They're all the same, so don't worry about keeping the order. And then the screws inside, they can come out. And then the funnels will be loose. Oh, that's right. The funnels sit below this. The funnels sit below this metal piece here. So when you lift that up, that'll come loose. But I did realize that the bottom of this thing had 3 screws here. And we can take the bottom of the airbox off in the meantime. Lift them up over the funnels again. You're gonna have to be really careful pulling this out. I gave myself a little bit of extra pressure. I have this ratchet strap pulled tight so it lifts as I lever. And just be careful where you put this. I got a great big lever. I mean, these are angled, so you're gonna be pushing this one this way and this one this way. But be very careful. You can break these fins off. I've seen it happen before on other bikes, and you can break that off pretty easily. And you can break parts and bend parts on your carbs. So what I did was I went in around here and found a spot I could push, and I wrapped my pry bar in a towel as to not break anything. So I'm gonna pry it up from either side, and then should be pretty easy once we get it up. But these boots are not real good, so it's not pliable, easy to move rubber. You can see we got them all up because the clamps were loosened up off the boots. And now I'll take my ratchet strap off. You can also see that I did not take out anything from the top because I couldn't get a good grip with a screwdriver on those screws. I didn't want to strip them out. So everything's coming out. Hopefully I can wiggle it out from the side and get the whole thing out as one. We're out, except for we have to disconnect our 2 gas lines down here between the carbs. They are connected to our petcock here. So we can disconnect them here. Is that where both of them go? No, that's just one. This one goes to the gas tank, which is no longer connected. That's broken line. That's junk. So if you had your gas tank on here, it's going to come in here, go through here to the vacuum actuated petcock. It's going to go from here and go down into our carburetor. Now where's this one connected? This one is not connected. Okay, good. Just this one yet. Just this one right here. We have to disconnect this from the petcock. Oh, look. This is a very common thing to happen on these bikes. Both of those fuel lines should be. I thought so. But this one broke. There is a T down in here. You see it? It's in here now. There's a plastic T in here that goes bad, and then that can break. So we basically just need to undo this guy right here. And then that plastic T, which is broken in here, is junk. So I need to get this off. Check out, I pried off that those lines, and look how disgusting the fuel line is in the petcock. It's like packed full of crap, and both of them actually. They're both packed full of junk, and they're not gonna be doing their job. That's probably shot. I don't even know if I would take that apart and clean it. But here now is our entire carb box. I think we're completely disconnected. There we go. I think something's, oh, the choke cable yet. Unroute that. There she is. All carbs are off. This is the side where the gas comes in. As I told you before, there's the T that broke. That is 2 lines of gas, feeds the 2 rails that go in between the carbs. And then our choke cable that came from the other side. And then all the stuff on top. I did manage to see, this is the opposite side. All the boots came off with it from the bottom of the bike. It's nice to sit on those. Here is our idle adjustment. And I did manage to see this move. So I think it's just seized in here. I'll have to clean this up. Maybe we can get those throttle plates moving again. So one of them seized, I guess. Here you can look inside. Those are what would move with that. So all 4 have to move. There you go. An upside down view. Yeah, this guy's kind of gross. See all that junk? It's just old fuel and crap that sat in there. So kind of spray in here and clean these up, and maybe we can get these moving again. We'll open up the bowls on another video, show you what we got. I'll see you guys on the next one. That's how you get your carburetors out. And it's good to use ratchet straps to push them down in too. That's a whole nother thing. You wrap it around the bottom of the bike and just kind of push it down. But I'll show you that if we install another carb set. See you guys on the next one.